Hey Dad, I got you an early Christmas present.
Ooh, what is this? Oh, just what I've always wanted. A forearm.
Oh brother, spin it.
Alright, welcome back DMD family to another Discs MD video and day number 16 of Vlogmas, and we're going to be talking about my forehand. I did this video about 2 weeks ago. I really didn't like the way it turned out, so I wanted to redo it. Unfortunately, today is horrible weather, but I felt really convicted that I wanted to redo this video for it to be better. This is last minute. It's due out tomorrow. It's really windy, but we're going to try to get through it. But before we get started, shout out to Corey Sargent, my boys over at Jarn DG. They're doing good things over there. And if you're in the Hartford County area and you're not a part of the Hartford County Disc Golf Club, what are you doing? Go join, be a part, make a difference. Thanks for all you do, Corey and guys over there at the Disc Club. Looking forward to joining up with you all and doing some good things in the area with disc golf. This is crazy, but we're going to try to get through it. Hopefully this isn't too windy for you guys. 3 things that I need to take care of with my backhand. From my baseball career, we're taught from little up the W, right? Like this when you go to throw. And then you iterate on that as you go through your baseball career. But I was bringing that into my backhand, and in my backswing, my disc was way up here. Straight and back of me and way up here. So we needed to adjust that. So Josh has me bringing it down, way down, and now in front of me, right? Because if I'm up here, I can't get the disc to my target without going through my body, so that promotes rounding. And from way up here, what happens? You can't throw, unless you're Matty O, you can't throw a forehand way up here. I guess Matty O can do it. What I would have to do was bring the disc down, right? My trajectory would be down toward the ground. And unless I wanted to throw it straight into the ground, I had to supinate my hand, right, when I got to the bottom to counter effect what I was doing with my forward motion. And that made the disc do all kinds of weird stuff. So a bunch of wrong things going on that Josh had to fix. I think I'm working on like 5 different things right now, but in like 3 stages. So I'll go through the 3 stages quickly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this, but we'll try. The first stage is bringing the disc down in my backswing and out away from my body and not so far back, right? So keeping it around right here. So those 3 things I'm working on it at one time. And it really looks like this. I set up in my stance and I just bring the disc back, right? And this is a really, really good time to encourage you all to video yourself when you're doing your drills, right? Because even though I think I'm right here, because I've been doing this for so long, I found myself doing this and this because my body wasn't trained to be here, right? I need the mind-muscle connection to get my disc from here to here. And that is just repetition, repetition, repetition. But if I'm not deliberate in every single rep, making sure that I'm right here, it does me no good. So put yourself in front of a camera, have it facing you, set up, and then get into your backswing position, and then stop and look to see if you are where you need to be. If you don't do that, you're going to practice wrong. It just took a lot of reps, just setting up from here and then going back to here. Setting up here and going back to here and stopping every time and looking to make sure I was where I needed to be. That way, I got hundreds of reps, but they were correct reps. And now my body knows, hey, I go from here to here. And I don't have to look to know that that's right because my body knows it's right. So video yourself, watch it, do it in real time, and make adjustments and fixes while you're doing it. And again, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reps. So that's how I really fixed my reps, getting it down, getting in front of me, and not going too far back. The other thing was, and he has a short video on this, I think, moving your top half as a unit. And we do this in baseball as well. When I go to throw a baseball, right, I get a baseball, and when I bring my arm back, this glove hand for me, comes up and I point my elbow, right? So my body's moving as a unit when I throw a ball. So it's not too much of a stretch to translate that into my forehand. It looks a little different, right? So I set up here and I move everything at the same time. And Josh said to think of it like a windshield wiper. Your hand's like windshield wipers. So I set up here, move them back at the same time, right? Now my disc is where I need it to be. My upper body is moving as a unit, right? And again, it's just all about getting reps. Every single time doing the exact same thing. So that's two of the things that four of the things that I'm working on in 2 different steps, right? And then the last thing is your lower body. And again, he has a short on this. My baseball career, can you see my feet? My baseball career, I'm asking the person that's holding my camera from blowing over right now. My baseball career, my bad habits in baseball have translated into disc golf, right? You remember the old squash the bug routine with the back foot, right? You did that to get your hips to activate, drop your knee down and in, squash the bug to turn your hips. I was translating that to disc golf. And you can't do that because that makes you fire your hips early. It made me fire my hips early. So what I had to do was I had to focus on driving my weight, shifting my weight forward, right? And hitting the plant foot and initiating my hit turn with driving my foot into the ground and pushing out and away with this hip. Watch Josh's video on this. It's really informative and well done. So I drive my foot into the ground, heel into the ground, and that driving the heel into the ground and pushing away pushes this hip up and back. Don't drive with this hip, right? We tend to want to drive with this back hip, but it's really pushing away and up with this hip that spins everything forward. And the hand and the arm are the last thing to go. Forward momentum, drive it into the ground, push up and away to rotate the hips, and then the hand comes through. So again, for me, I do it in steps because I have to force my body to not go early. I want to initiate my movement forward with my hips, and I can't do that. So I had to set up, and hopefully this doesn't spit the disc back at me. Get back here, drive, hit, and then throw. And literally, that's the way I had to do it, or I would start my hips early. So get in my stance, go back, drive, turn, and then send my hand. That's the way I had to do it to train my body to drive into the ground, initiate that hip turn, and then send my hand. The last thing that I need to do is correct my supination, right? I said I came down and then I supinated my hand when I went to release. So now that I have my disc down, I'm still in that habit of wanting to supinate my hand when I throw. So when I was throwing, and can you see me in frame here still? Okay. When I'm coming down, right, I supinate to get it flat. Now my hand still wants to supinate, but I'm going forward, and when I supinate, see what happens to my disc? I sent this to a form review for Josh, just an intermediate form review as I'm doing the things he wants me to practice. And he says, your palm is up. He said, your hand cannot be that palm up. And that's what was happening. I was still supinating because it was a habit. He said, keep the palm forward as much as you can. Do not palm up, palm forward. So that's the last thing I have to work on, is getting here and focusing on keeping that palm forward as I throw and not supinating as I release. I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time. I hope this helps somebody. I know it's helped me. I'm not practicing nearly as much as I should. Shh, don't tell Josh. But I'm committed to doing that now. I know the holidays are on us, but I need to find time to come out and really just work on drilling forehand. Again, hundreds and hundreds of reps just to get the form and the flow and the process down. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this content was useful to you. And I hope that you can use it to help inform your game and your forehand, because all I want for Christmas is a forehand. Until next time, enjoy the journey. Here's your verse of the day.